Welcome to the used EV vlog. Now, whether you're looking to be more environmentally friendly or if you just want to save some money, and that's a lot of people's reason for going for an electric car at the moment. Now, the date today is the 29th of June 2022, and a lot of people are spending a lot of money on petrol and diesel. I mean, up to £2 and over in a lot of cases. I'm very lucky. I started early. I'm in the motor trade. My name's Tim Aylen. I work for a main dealer group as a used car buyer. I'm very passionate about electric cars, and I'm hoping to share my knowledge around trying to save you some money and get a good deal on an electric car, whether it's a used or a new. Now, this subject, although I'm a professional in the car trade, it'll blow your mind because there's so much new information, and it's taken me a while just to get my head around a lot of it. But what I've got in front of me now is a spreadsheet to not only help me explain to you what an efficient, high range, good value electric car is, but also do it in a way to give you facts and figures and be realistic. It's all about realistic figures, because in the motor trade, I'm sure a lot of people have been potentially burnt or given fictitious figures on MPG back in the day of, I say back in the day, petrol and diesel. And it's very, very similar with electric cars now. There is a way that all electric cars work out their range from the manufacturer, and they quote something called WLTP range. Now, that's a world organization which gives the range, which isn't necessarily a very realistic range, certainly in my opinion. And it gives you kind of the best case scenario. If you didn't know, in the winter, range does reduce. And obviously if you use more things in the car, in terms of heating and electrics, etc., it does reduce the range slightly. And of course, how you drive it, just like a petrol and diesel car. But the figure of range, which range tends to be most important for a lot of people because it's a very different type of ownership experience with an electric car. I use facts and figures from a website, and check it out, called EV Database, because I think it is the most realistic from a range point of view, and it gives all the 0 to 60 top speed efficiency. Range might not be important to everybody. It might be efficiency, getting your best value for money. So I have created a spreadsheet to make it easy for me to explain to you and show you what the best electric cars, used and new, are. And I've also used data from Auto Trader, mainly because there's the biggest sample size, to tell you what the cheapest average price is. That's taking the 3 cheapest used cars of that particular make and model and giving the average, just to give us an idea of, do you know what, that's a good car, it's got that range, and it's around that price, which is within my budget. So we'll do a few examples and then we'll go into more detail in other episodes. Now, that cheapest average used price is changing, and it's changing dramatically, especially under £30,000 electric cars. The reason for this is supply and demand. There's a lot of people that want an electric car, and there's not enough electric cars to go around. And this is a very similar thing that happened when we came out of lockdown. Everybody wanted to have an updated car. Well, a lot of people did, because they had spare money, they wanted a newer car, many, many reasons. And that's what made the petrol and diesel or any car price go up. Now petrol and diesel are starting to subside quite a bit now, but electric cars are going stronger and stronger and stronger for the reason of, you know, I'm not going to go into the politics, but the fuel price is going up. So what we've got in front of us here, we have got at the top here, brand, model, 0 to 60, top speed, range, that's in miles, efficiency. Instead of a lot of them, efficiency is miles per kilowatt. This is watts per mile. Rapid charging time, that is very important for people that are doing a lot of journeys. So for example, someone who does more miles than the range of the vehicle, that will be more important to some people than others, especially if you're using public chargers or Tesla ones. Car type, official battery size or the usable battery, new price, and cheapest average price. So a lot of information here, but I'm going to give you a few examples just how good this spreadsheet is, and then I'll go into more detail moving forward. There are lots of different types of electric cars. On this spreadsheet, there's about 48. I've taken a couple off because either if they don't have rapid charging, which I think is important in this day and age, if you cannot get them new for quite a number of months, which basically means a used one will be more expensive than a new one. There's no point in me putting this on here if you want a value electric car. There's certain cars that are much older, or there's certain battery issues with them, which I'll go into later. So we've got at the top here, we've got, we can play around with the range, lowest to highest. So highest range here, I mean, these are some used cars. We've got Teslas. Obviously, if you didn't know, Tesla have got really, really good and strong high ranges. And then we've got the two that we're going to focus on today is cheapest average price, because this is going to be a used car EV episode. So if we just go smallest to highest, so the cheapest electric car, yes, there are cheaper out there, and I'll go into reasons why I didn't put them on there in the first place, mainly to do with age or rapid charging or to do with battery degradation. But cheapest one here we've got is the Merc B250E. That's basically a B class, which is similar size, bit big, bit taller than a Golf. So 15,900. Not many people know this Mercedes has actually got Tesla batteries and the Tesla large drive unit, but in reverse. Bit of fun fact for you there. Fun if you're a car geek like me, I suppose. Let's try and find a car with at least, I would say 200-mile range, because I think that's a good range. Don't you? I hope so. But, you know, it's not for everyone. Some people only do, I mean, my commute, longest commute is probably 120-mile round trip. So realistically, okay, I want to leave a little bit of leeway, probably 170, 180 miles. So tell you what, let's go with 180 miles. What is the cheapest car that will get me to and from work in winter with a little bit of, you know, a little bit of leeway? So going down the list here, so we've got 90, 105, 95, 140, 150, 135, 195, here we go. So 195, 190, these two look good. Okay, so how much are they? 20,332 and 21,000. So that's the cheapest three cars of that battery size on Auto Trader as an average. And look, they're both Renault Zoes. Now, early Renault Zoes had a battery lease where once you buy the car, you also had to pay a monthly payment for the battery, which is good in a way because if the battery goes wrong, you get a replacement battery pack. These two particular versions don't have that because they're much newer Renault Zoes. There was a bit of a scare recently with the latest Renault Zoe because it didn't get a 5-star NCAT rating. Renault and French cars tend to be very good on NCAT rating, but they took one of the safety things out and it hasn't got that. So you might want to look into that, but on a range point of view and how cheap it is to buy a used one, they are, if you want the cheapest car with the best range, Renault Zoe. This will not last long. I would say in the next 2 to 3 months, the price of these cars are going to be skyrocketing because everybody who wants to save money, getting into an electric car, is trying to find the best value car. I'm giving you a leg up. If you've seen this video early and you're looking for an electric car, then this is going to be very valuable to you, this spreadsheet and this video. So let's say you don't want a Renault Zoe, you don't like the look of them, you want something bigger. Let's forget about the brand for a second because yes, there's going to be some brand snobs out there, or, you know, I don't particularly like French cars normally because, you know, electric issues, you know, is the thing, or I don't like Vauxhalls, but, you know, the Corsa E is actually a really good value electric car, 170 miles, 22,333 as a cheapest car price. It's a pretty good value electric car in my opinion. But let's say we want something a bit bigger than the Zoe. Now, a car that I touched on my last episode without the spreadsheet about a month ago, you could get these cheap. A month later, now I'm trying to buy them in the auction for the company that I work for. Very hard to buy them. Literally the price has gone shooting up, at least like £1,500 to £2,000 in that small period of time of a month. That is how much under 30,000 electric cars are shooting up in price because of the fuel prices out there of petrol and diesel. So let's say a Zoe and a Corsa is not big enough. and an Ionic, 155 mile range, so average price 22,800, and there's a few different types of Ionic. That's the 38 kilowatt. There was an older one which has less range, but that is 2020 onwards model. It looks a bit like a Prius. It's Prius size, a 5-door, decent boot and all the rest of it, but 155 miles, that's not going to get me to work and back with my leeway. I still need 180 miles. Oh, thank goodness I found one. An MG5, 53 kilowatt. Now the MG5 is an estate, so if I wanted more space, that would be the car that I would want to go for. Average price is 24,100. Now brand new, they don't do this battery size anymore, but brand new that was 26,000, and 24,161 is the average cheapest price between 3 cars that I found on Auto Trader. It just gives you a little flavour of what's happening in the market. And I know these prices are going to go up. I think I'll do this every couple of weeks just to show you the difference in price, because it's going to blow your mind. I know it is. So we've got, with the MG5, MG as a company now, it's not a British company anymore. It was bought recently by a Chinese brand, but they do probably, at the moment, the best value electric cars. MG, if you try to buy one now, brand new, they're only fulfilling customer orders now because they've had such strong demand. So if you want the best value, you're not too worried about the brand, or German/Japanese quality, that's the one you want to go for, especially the spec. They come with loads of spec. So they do 2 different batteries. They do 53 to 50 kilowatt. So manufacturer says 53, but usable is 49. That's just over 24,180 miles. Or they do the 61 kilowatt hour. So batteries are measured in kilowatt hour, not kilowatt. Then they do the long range MG, which is 210 mile range, and the average price of that is 27.5. Brand new there, 28,995. Average price, £1,500 cheaper. In my opinion, that is one of the best value, bigger cars out there. They are going to be facelifting that car at the end of the year, but if you want something decent size, big range, good value, that's the one to go for. If not, happy with a smaller one, Renault Zoe, definitely. But bearing in mind that safety thing, just look into that. Next best value car. Now we found the cheapest one. It was the Renault Zoe. We found the one that we like size-wise, 27.5. But what if I've got an SUV? I want to be higher up. I like that style of car. Best value there is the Kia Niro, 230 mile range, and the cheapest average of the 3 that I found on Auto Trader, 28,400. Brand new, it was 33. These are getting snapped up like hotcakes. So 230 mile range, that is really, really good for an electric car. Bear in mind, these are realistic ranges, not the WLTP. WLTP on that is probably about 300 if you look it up. And what I'll probably do is add another column just to show you the difference. Now, I'm going to leave it there because I've shown you a few cars. I don't want to completely, bore you to death by spreadsheets, but there's loads more information on this spreadsheet and more information I can give you. So I hope you found that useful so far. I have got another channel called ChargeheadsUK. That is because I'm a massive car nut, previously a big petrolhead, and I've got a TVR 5 litre V8. But I'm actually converting an electric TVR with a Tesla motor. And we are modifying a Tesla Model 3 long range, which is quite exciting. And we've also got a 1970s trike that we've converted to electric, which we have lots of fun on. So that's TVR Wedgie, hashtag TVR Wedgie, hashtag Rusty Tesla. If you want to know why it's called Rusty, watch the episodes, and then hashtag Special Trikey, and that's on Chargeheads UK, so check that out. I've been Tim Aylen. I'm a used car buyer for a main dealer group, and I am happy to answer any comments, have any questions. If you've got any questions for the next episode or anything that you want me to touch on, please put it in the comments. Thank you.